So every time we do a water change, we want to be using one of these, and this is a gravel cleaner, and this is a brilliant way of pulling all the crap out of the gravel while we're doing a water change. So if we do this every time, particularly moving the rocks and getting in under the rocks is a really great way of getting nutrients out of the tank, and it's the most economical way of getting bang for buck out of a water change. See those big poos that look like worms? I was saying water quality is, or fish quality is 50% water quality and 50% food quality. So we've already established that this tank feeds very good quality food, and that's how the water is so bad. But the nutrients in the water, which is what the filter is responsible for, are actually very good. This tank does not have high ammonia nitrite or nitrate, but this stuff here, this is God's gift to fish tanks. So this tank, once again, the nutrient levels in this tank are low, and I would suggest that's because he was using polyfilter. Now, polyfilter adsorbs and absorbs anything impure out of the water. It starts off white. After a period of time, it goes black. So replacing that polyfilter would be a very good idea, because the polyfilter will also help to remove any accumulants. So if you are going to not change the water regularly or not look after your fish regularly, buying this particular product, polyfilter, is probably the very best thing you could do. Good quality food, good quality media, and then you're always ahead. As filtration is concerned, this one is a mechanical chemical media. Then we've got some good old noodles there that'll help to grow some nitrifying bacteria to break the waste from our fish down. But these things here, they're the best you can get. So what these are is Marine Pure. Now, Marine Pure is far superior to anything else on the market, because Marine Pure contains a particular porosity that allows the formation of denitrifying bacteria within the porous structure of this ball. And this would be a good reason why this aquarium has no ammonia nitrite or nitrate. So the filter's job is to break down the ammonia and nitrite, then water changes and denitrification is for the nitrate. So this filter is doing a very good job on this tank, and the reason why it's doing a very good job is because it has, between that one and that one, it has about the best media you can get. You get what you pay for in the aquarium industry, and particularly if you're not looking after your fish as well as you should, then having this good quality stuff is worth its weight in gold. The light of an aquarium, I really only want to have on about 6 to 8 hours a day. So it's really important that the fish have light and night cycles, because that's really going to help them. So I really want to make sure that this light is on a timer or regularly getting turned off. Now we're going to need to keep an eye on this pH and KH for a while, because we want to raise it slowly. So this product here is API pH up, which also increases KH. So I'm just going to tip some of it in there now. Then we need to retest it. Then we need to re-add it. Then a day or two later, retest it and re-add it until we get the water alkaline. It is currently acid. This does need attention. So the three things I want added to the water when we're doing a water change is the water ager, which we've added, the KH, which we've added, and I also want to add some GH, because these fish like high GH water. So we want to add some of this when we're doing a water change as well. That really helps our immune system. We've just put some rocks in the tank. The other thing I'd like to get is some nice big tall fake plants to go in the back. That'd make me happy. Now I'm going to add a bit of pristine to the water, and that will help to break down any solid nutrients that's in the water. And it'll help to break down that big stringy fish poos. If we just chuck this in every couple of weeks, we're going to help with the organic, solid organics. This tank's already looking heaps better. But what I'm going to do now is turn up those nozzles at the back, because what I really want to see is I want to see them agitate the surface, because the water in the filter is often in oxygen deficit, because the water comes out of the aquarium, billions of bacteria grow in the filter, and that's why when we clean this filter, we need to be cleaning it in water from the fish tank not water from the tap, because we don't want chlorine going into the filter and killing off our good bacteria. Then the water goes back up to the aquarium again, and it's very low in oxygen. So we need to agitate the surface to ensure that we get the oxygen back in that the filter itself takes out. So if I just open this up, so that's what I'm wanting to see. I'm wanting to see the surface agitate, because breaking the surface is how we allow more gas exchange, because we need good dissolved oxygen levels, because the dissolved oxygen levels will govern the redox potential, and the redox potential is how efficient the bacteria in the filter works. So the other thing that's a little bit optional on this tank is you could consider getting a power head. Now, Aqua One make a really good sort of reef circulator. It's magneted to the side, so it doesn't give you the shits with the suction caps that fall off the wall all the time. And if you got one of those and put it on that side wall, angle it up, and just try and turn the water over a little bit more. Because if I look at the particles in the water, they're not really moving very fast. Everything is okay. Nothing is a big issue here. But if we did get a little bit more flow, you'll find that'll increase the redox potential, increase the dissolved oxygen level, and just help to keep the tank a little bit cleaner. The other thing I'd consider doing is getting a set of claws as well, because the claws are really handy just if there's things that we've got to do in the aquarium, because as far as just making little adjustments are concerned, because this is a very deep tank and it's quite high. So the easier your tank is to work on, the more likely that you're actually going to work on it. So I really love having like a claw. We have a max spec claw, and I absolutely love it. It really makes my life easier. Your ornaments in the aquarium, such as these plants, even the rocks, every now and then, if you get them out and put them in the sun for a day, then flip them over, leave them in the sun for a day, then the sun is really good at bleaching off the algae, and you'll be surprised how clean things like fake plants are after they've been in the sun for a day to get bleached out. As far as the aeration is concerned, I'm really happy to see this has got an air pump in it. But I hate these big long air stones because they always manage to be visible, and I hate things that are visible. So if this was my tank, I'd just get a couple of ball air stones. I'd put one on the end of each one of those, and then I'd just have it like in the back corner or somewhere that it's really not so obvious, because I don't want to see all this stuff in my tank. And as far as how the bubbles come out, it doesn't really make any difference, because the pump itself is what makes the bubbles, and the air stone just determines where the bubbles come out. So I want it to look good. I also would probably adjust that heater so it was actually flat, because I don't like seeing things on an angle. And then I'd put some fake plants across the back. I don't want to see any of this stuff. I don't want to see cords. I don't want to see heaters. I don't want to see pipes. If I can just chuck a nice big fake plant at the back and hide them, then I'm really happy. Now this tank I don't think is going to have much trouble with algae, because it's got these whopping big vacuum cleaners in there. But if you ever have trouble with algae, make sure you get yourself a flipper. It's got a razor blade on it, and they're so good. I would never go without them. Another thing I'm just looking at while I'm thinking about it is when you see exposed silicon like that, it's sort of cool, because if the silicon is all one color like this, that means that the risk of your tank leaking is very, very low. But if over time you notice like lightening up in parts of your silicon, that can mean that it's starting to let go. With tanks like this, if they start getting 15, 20 years, consider that a pretty good life. Particularly with your colored silicon, it's not quite as strong as your clear silicon.